Harry and Meghan are painfully sidelined. Queen regrets missing this Christmas with the royal family members. Hello and a very warm welcome back to the Kate Middleton and the Queen News New Version channel. According to a royal expert, Her Majesty will feel incredibly sorry not to see the family. The Queen's decision not to celebrate Christmas at Sandringham this year will be a crushing blow for her, as she has always treasured this time with her family. The expert also explains that either way, royal traitors Harry and Meghan will not be invited to Christmas. The Mail Online's editor, Mr. K, wrote for us that Meghan was aware before stepping back that she and Harry were becoming irrelevant. More than likely, Meghan was told shortly after announcing she was pregnant that the baby wouldn't receive the title Prince or Princess upon its birth. This is just temporary, as Archie was not born to William, the eldest son of Prince Charles and the heir to the throne, as stated in the letters of patent. I hate to say it, but in some ways, Harry and Meghan's baby Archie was irrelevant even before birth. This had to have bothered Meghan since she's so obsessed with social status and titles. Despite what they said about bringing up Archie as a private citizen, Meghan was sure to have felt slighted. Harry knew that in time he would be able to enjoy a quieter life, out of the public eye, which he claimed that he's wanted all these years. As Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis grow, Harry and his family get pushed back one step at a time. All Nutmeg wanted was to isolate Harry from friends and family so she could control him and manipulate him. She needs his money, she needs the royal titles. But she still felt she needed to get back to LA to try to be the star she couldn't be before. She still wanted to try to land her spot on the A-list. While she hasn't managed that achievement yet, she has managed to exploit her husband's family by disrespecting the Queen and royals time and time again, just like she disrespected her own family by ghosting them. Let's be upfront and honest. She was a D-list actor in a supporting role on a cable TV show. Now she has the royal family's money so she can hire PR teams and good lawyers to sue the crap out of people who speak the unflattering truth about her. She needs those titles in order to cut deals. I don't even think she's really planning to stay with Harry long term, and she seems to be far from maternal, but those kids will guarantee her a very good divorce settlement. Since stepping back as working royals, Meghan has fought tooth and nail through all these months of the pandemic to be seen and heard. In other words, to remain relevant. She seizes any opportunity for the Harkles to have their faces and voices seen and heard, even going so far as to bring in their own photographer to make sure only the best photos are put out for the public to see. As soon as people can go back to a more normal life, I think they will easily forget Harry and Meghan. Unless they actually enjoy all the do as I say, not as I do preaching that Meghan and Harry love to put out on social media. They are irrelevant. Only Harry and Meghan just don't seem to realize it yet. Was it ever Meghan Markle's intention to be a working royal? I'd say no. She never wanted to stay in Britain. This was her plan all along. Was her agenda instead to secure a fancy ring on her finger, acquire a title, then bolt back to Tinseltown where she could become the new queen of Hollywood, finally attracting the attention and publicity that she so desperately craves? Yes, I do believe so. People claim that Harry wasn't happy in the UK, but, well, if you look at the photos of him with his family before he got married, he looks very happy to me. Now, since he got married, on the other hand, I haven't seen a happy photo of Harry. In fact, he looks pretty rough. She was the one who wanted to get out of Britain, and Harry could have gone to South Africa if he wanted to work there. What saddens us Brits the most is that Harry was so loved here. He was always topping the poll list of the most loved royals along with the Queen. He was fun, easy to relate to, joyful, and the charities he held dear to his heart flourished as he was their head. He was getting along just fine. Sadly, along came this pathetic, narcissistic wannabe. Oh, and despite the lies she loves to peddle, she was warmly welcomed here. She was shown love and respect until she showed her true colors, and we all saw the evil lurking beneath that shiny exterior. A £1,000,000 cottage, castles, maids, butlers, footmen, chefs, housekeepers, personal assistants, on and on. They just weren't enough for Meg. Her plans were even bigger and greedier. She filled Harry's head with her hateful nonsense, brainwashed him, and look at him now. He's an embarrassment, spouting her BS that I don't even want to think he truly believes. She has taken him away from his country and family. There is no way that this relationship will last. Eventually, Harry will realize how good he had it pre-Meghan, and he'll pine for home and want to come back. The tragedy, though, is that his son will remain in the U.S. He won't be the first British royal to have given everything up for a selfish, deluded narcissist, but please let us pray to God that he is the last. I think Harry will return a very sad and bitter man, who no doubt will blame everyone else for his downfall except the one who really caused it, his wicked nutmeg. I just wish the media would realize we don't care about these two, and they can stop bombarding us every day with stupid news items about them. I stopped buying any print copies, and I don't do social media at all. The main news media is bad enough online, but at least I'm not paying for it. Not a day goes by without her nasty face making headline news. Meanwhile, for the Queen, the disappointment is crushing. Though it is for a good reason, the Queen will regret that she will not be celebrating Christmas this year at Sandringham. It's not only the fact that in her second year of operation, she'll be absent from the Norfolk estate, home to many of her most treasured Christmas memories, but also that she will once again be stripped from the company of so many of her family members. Their absence, especially her great-grandchildren, will be felt in a special way. After a year that began with the departure of her husband, Prince Philip, and ended with her having to call off her long public engagements due to ill health, her hopes were raised by the prospect of a family gathering at Sandringham for the first time since 2019. It was promised to be one of the biggest royal gatherings in years, with U.S. residents Harry, Meghan, and their children being the only absentees. Despite whispers from royal aides that the Queen will be visited by her family for Christmas, with all proper instructions being followed, it certainly means that the normal celebrations will be dampened considerably. Palace officials insist that the Queen's decision is a personal one, and it was made only after careful consideration, which is said to have included medical advice from doctors. It also looks like next year's platinum events will almost certainly be included in the decision-making process. A courtier said, "The Jubilee is an important and personal milestone, and His Majesty wishes to minimize any risk to events. Self-harm, potentially causing harm to a large family gathering, is one of the possible threats. Up to 50 family members are arranged to attend. The Queen is expected to arrive at Sandringham by helicopter today or tomorrow." Other royal guests will arrive on Christmas Eve. While not as exciting to key staff at Windsor as it was earlier during the pandemic, special precautions have been made to keep the Queen safe and COVID-free. They include her personal staff who perform daily lateral flow tests. I understand that a servant has actually tested positive in recent days, but this doesn't affect the Queen's decision to stay at Windsor. However, I understand that aides are concerned about the possibility that the Queen could be infected with such a large group gathering at Sandringham, which is also why the royal luncheon was canceled this week. The question now is which family members will be with the Queen on Christmas Day. It appears that the despised Prince Andrew, who lives near the Royal Lodge, could stay in Windsor to be with his mother, as well as Prince Edward and the Countess of Wessex and their children. Although plans are still uncertain, I am told the Queen will not eat Christmas lunch alone. It's not clear yet whether some family members will continue to visit Sandringham, although it is understood Prince William and the Duchess of Cambridge will spend the holidays at Anmer Hall, their Norfolk home near Sandringham House. Last year, we know that Prince Charles and the Duchess of Cornwall spent Christmas Day at Highgrove, his country estate in Gloucestershire. This year will mark the second time in 33 years that the Queen has spent the festive season away from Sandringham. Up until the 1980s, Christmas was regularly held at Windsor Castle, but the arrival of her grandchildren meant that the royal family needed some more space, so they headed to the Norfolk residence. It's still possible that the Queen will be able to travel to spend some of the winter holidays at Sandringham. She usually stays there until February 6th, the anniversary of the death of her father, King George VI. Next year will be a particularly important one, as it marks the 70th anniversary of her accession. And you, what do you think about this news? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments section and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like and share my video with your friends who need it if you think our video is useful. And don't forget to subscribe to Kate Middleton and the Queen News New Version channel to get more interesting videos in the future. Now have a nice day and see you in the next videos.